What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary 41 with my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You know, it's interesting. 3 videos in a day. The first one, pocket property, something I really hope you guys take a look into. I'll put a link down in the pinned comment. Really helping to bring real estate investing to everyone. Real estate is such a moneymaker in this country as far as generational wealth is concerned. Secondly, talked about EA Play today. Madden really didn't get a lot of coverage. They got copy and pasted what we'd already seen. And then now, look at where we are. EA has a prime opportunity to come out, respond to the community, showcase what they're doing for their franchise gamers, and I gotta say, it just seems like a missed opportunity. This is something we've wanted for a long time. You know, when we talk about face of the franchise, the reason people don't play it, it's just an empty cinematic. You know, it's something that you play through, everyone kind of gets the same sterile experience, and they actually start this podcast off by saying very much that there's not too many paths that they can go with that. I mean, I think we would all agree, players come in the NFL, expectations can vary, but the beginning of everyone's career is very much the same, you know, going in, either trying to get playing time or getting playing time and trying to grow from there. And that's where I think a lot of us expect the stories to go. You know, whether you're a draft bust, whether you're a journeyman player and you go from team to team, whether you're a player that doesn't quite make it and you go on to later, you know, maybe be a coach, an assistant. Let's say you don't even make it out of the practice squad. I mean, there's people at EA that can write these stories because they've lived them. So with all that said, I think this is a great opportunity for them to showcase getting something that is going to have even a non-sports gamer interested in this, playing this mode. You know, when you talk about being creators in this area, I've often said, you know, the Madden creators absolutely have it terribly. You know, we have one of the worst mediums to work with when it comes to this game. You know, it's not even in the same league, no pun intended, of the show that basically gives their creators a massive toolbox. And that's not to say it's easier to create there. I'm just saying we're so limited in what we have. A lot of our popular franchise gamers simply have to blend creativity and aspects of other games into Madden to make it seem like there's a more dynamic experience than there is. So they talked about adding these 70 podcast stories. Every time EA gives us a number, I get a little bit taken back because, you know, how many of us will experience these? You know, we hear about 4,000 animations and these things all the time, but very seldom do they actually impact the game. I would love to see maybe even a tree of how many different paths that we could take, being that we're kind of compressed down to just a few positions. And ultimately, that's something that EA has to grow upon. I mean, you know, you should be able to play as any position you want. You know, if you want to play as a quarterback and then go through as a running back, a wide receiver, that's fine. But what if you want to play as an offensive lineman? You know, you should have that opportunity as well. And I think that's one thing where they have to grow, but in order to grow properly, and we talk about this with other games like Access Football, you know, you have to build on what's there to get what the community needs, right? You don't want to have a hollow game mode to start with, have people not want to play it, and then begin to layer things on. You want everything there to start with, you know, from customization, even going back to teams and editing. You want to have a baseline there of something that works, something that you can kind of have a gamer go through and give you feedback with, and then build off that. And that's kind of something EA, I don't want to say has struggled with, because they do these things, but then we never see it kind of bear fruit, if you will. I mean, look at how many times we've went through, you know, long shot and all these different game modes that just never really seem to get to where they need to be, because ultimately they get pulled out of the game. And hopefully, you know, as we've seen with people leading Superstar KO and all these other game modes kind of getting pulled away, maybe that'll fix and kind of put focus towards things like this. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, even if these podcasts are 10 minutes long, you know, there's quite a bit of time that goes into recording 70 different aspects of a story. And hopefully that story is going to have enough layers where we're going to be entertained as gamers, maybe even be able to create content. But most importantly, if nothing else, play this game mode more than 2 or 3 times. I will go back though and reiterate, it's very intriguing to me that they had a golden opportunity to showcase this today and they chose not to. Obviously, you know, they had the information there, they had the podcast there, they had the data there. And yet, you know, when you come through a time where you can showcase this to all gamers, a game mode that should be universally accepted, everyone wants to play these story modes. You know, look at how far games like Grand Theft Auto have come based off story modes. And here you have an opportunity where they're bringing something that attracts the most casual of gamers, a story mode for a football game. And literally, there's nothing to be seen or heard. No pun intended again. A lot of puns in this one. in today's content. So other than that, you guys should know by now. Appreciate you listening to this, and you know I will be back in a week or like in a couple hours, and putting information out all the time with more commentary.